Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast. My name is not Mysterious Matt. I am one of your hosts. With me, as always, my long-lost brother on the East Coast, Mysterious Mike Talent.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Hopefully you're surviving the new surging apocalypse.
The new surging apocalypse? Is it like a tidal wave apocalypse? Is it a tsunami apocalypse?
I don't know, man. It's like if you've ever seen that movie 28 Days Later, the virus is now like that.
Dude.
Super fast.
Is it 28 Days Later? Is it 28 Days More Later? Is that what the sequel is?
I don't think that... I think it's another 28 days.
Is that what it is?
Or something. Yeah, I don't think it's 28 more
28
more
days?
later.
They can't do math? What the hell?
28 plus 28.
12.
Exactly.
Woo! I'm a whiz when it comes to math.
Yeah, I'm glad you took all those standardized tests. They really taught you.
They taught me well. Well, except, like our generation, you remember we were like setting the bar for like the standardized tests for one of them that they introduced in Arizona. You remember the AIMS?
Yeah. No, we were doing the one for the high school graduation. Like,
right.
They were trying
AIMS.
to like set the medium. Is that what?
Yeah,
was what
it was like
called?
AIMS, and now it's like they used our class to do it. And you remember? I don't know how I don't remember what class you took it in. But I don't think we're in the same class when we did it. And my class, when we took it, like the teacher stepped out for like 2 seconds and everybody just started farting around and screwing around and not doing it. And so everybody just guessed and didn't take it seriously and didn't care. And remember when the test scores came back, it made like national news because how bad they were. So I think it was just everybody just said F it and did whatever they wanted.
I know when I took the test, they repeated to us over and over. This doesn't count. This is just set like a medium gauge. And at which point I just started filling in circles.
Right. I honestly think people did like was it Beavis and Butthead that did it where they made like drawings with the bubble graphs and stuff? Yeah. I honestly think people were doing stuff like that because you can't tell us up front that this does not matter and then expect us to take it seriously. I mean, we're high school kids, for Christ's sake. We had a hard enough time showing up to school.
Yeah, so no, we absolutely did nothing for helping out our state. And maybe we did help out our state because we lowered the bar so low that everyone gets through.
All right, Mike. Well, to get back on topic and talk about getting through a cave, this week we sat down and watched a movie on Hulu, brand new, just came out July 10th, the Hulu original, the most expensive film by 69 cents ever purchased at Sundance, Palm Springs, starring Andy Samberg. Mike, you want to give us the rundown for this romedy comedy?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is directed by Max Barbacow. This is starring Andy Samberg, Cristin Milioti, J.K. Simmons, Peter Gallagher and Meredith Hagner. And when carefree Nyles and reluctant maid of honor Sarah have a chance encounter at Palm Springs' wedding, things get complicated as they're unable to escape the venue, themselves, or each other. So in other words, it's Groundhog Day, but with a new twist.
Yeah, and ever since Groundhog Day was so successful, there's been lots of franchises that take after it, such as Happy Death Day, which I actually liked. I have not finished the sequel. I started the sequel when I was actually visiting you, Mike. I started the sequel on the airplane flying home, and I did not finish it because I think we landed then or something. I got like halfway through the sequel.
Yeah, you watched another movie probably, and then you were on your second movie.
Right. I think it was on my second movie, and we landed, and I just never went back. I need to finish the sequel, but I have watched the original Happy Death Day multiple times. Again, not a huge fan of horror, but it was really well done. It was very smart. It was a lot of fun, almost a comedy, but it's kind of the horror comedy thing. But enough about Happy Death Day, but it's hard not to drop parallels between that and Groundhog Day and Palm Springs because they're all dealing with a similar never-ending day.
Correct. Yeah, definitely.
In this, they call it a time loop.
Yeah, this was fun. This was fun because this is a new twist on it. I don't think it's too much to give away that our main characters, Andy Samberg and Cristina Milioti, I screwed that up.
I think it's Milioti, I believe.
Milioti. Oh,
yeah.
man, yes.
It's all right, man.
Who play Nyles and Sarah. They are both stuck in the time loop together.
Yeah, I believe that's in the trailers. Yeah.
Yeah, which makes quite the interesting events because they both kind of know, so...
Well, and that's where it differs greatly from Groundhog Day and Happy Death Day is because the person is not going through this completely alone. They have, let's call it a PIC, a partner in crime.
Yeah. All right, a PIC it is.
Come on, Mike.
So,
what movie's that from?
I'm blanking, man. I got nothing.
I believe most recently they used that in Role Models.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. This was pretty fun. Like, this is a good lighthearted. This is a great pandemic movie.
It is, man. It is. It's a good comedy. It's a lot of fun. It definitely resonates right now because a lot of this pandemic bullshit, and I know I'm just getting angry now, but a lot of that, it makes it seem like every day is the same day over and over and over again. I'm lucky that I get out of the house every now and then. I'm really trying to be smart about going to stores and things like that because exposures are getting higher. But it's very similar to that, what we're going through right now. And it's just, this is fun and hilarious, and they're not doing it alone.
So I think you're right, man. I think the timing and the content of this movie now I think this movie was made a little while back. But it really is relevant right now we are kind of doing the same thing every day. Like, one of my favorite parts of the day right now is just getting out of the house and walking the dog because I'm working remote. I'm on Zoom calls all the time. That's pretty much all I do. I mean, there's been several days where I didn't really even get dressed because I don't need to.
Well, Mike, I'm glad you got dressed for me because I was tired of watching your naked body on our Zoom call while we are doing a podcast.
It's a good thing, though, I can put my background as my naked body, so it's like you can still see most of it.
Right. And it doesn't help that you turn your camera vertically so I see all of you. Mags, I'm sorry. He's way too close to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry as well.
Well, anyways, yeah, Mike, this movie is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I think it is well worth a watch. It's a great comedy. It does have romance in it. It doesn't have a ton of romance in it. It has quite a few twists and turns. Towards the end, there's some scenes that we can get into when we get into spoilers that I want to discuss because I have some theories. J.K. Simmons was fantastic. He was a lot of fun. He's not in this movie a whole lot. I wish there was a little bit more of him and his character, but I think when he does make his appearance, he's a blast. He really is. He's dark. He's only in it for a little bit, but his character is quite poignant, and I like that. Yeah, it's a different twist. It's definitely a different twist when you find out why he's in the movie and why he's doing what he's doing, and then, later on, there's even more things that are revealed, and you're like, huh, okay, that is not what I saw coming whatsoever. I'm trying not to spoil it, but yeah, it's, this movie is, it's a lot of fun, man. I mean, it was shot well. There's decent cinematography. It's nothing over the top, but there's a few shots specifically in the pool that were done really uniquely and well. There's minimal CGI in it, but when they do have it, it works out well. Like there's a scene with some creatures in the background. Yes, it's very dark, but they still came across very lifelike. I like that. The comedy was there. I can't imagine being stuck in a time loop where every day is a wedding.
We're not there at spoilers, Matt.
No, we're not.
But maybe to get there. Well, but maybe to get there, I'm going to ask you, Matt, what are you drinking?
Well, Mike, Thanks for asking. Today, I made a special trip down a few weeks ago to Phoenix, and I went to my favorite brewery in the world, Four Peaks Brewing Company, and I got a little beer called Rattle On Red Ale. Now, originally, this beer in this aluminum can was only supposed to be available at the brewery and at the Arizona Diamondbacks baseball games. Well, we don't have baseball this year, and when we do, we will not be able to go see it in person. So they got to sell the beer. So they're selling the beer from the Four Peaks Brewery. I think you can pick it up in stores now, but I don't know if you can get these bad boys, the full pints. But here you go. Here's a little thing that is on the back for all the fans that got one of these to read. It says, D-backs fans perhaps know it better than anyone else. A good beer is an essential part of any baseball game. So we partnered with Arizona's hometown team and brewed this smooth, refreshing ale to pair with peanuts, dogs, and dingers. Drink up and rattle on. And I mean, it has the snake
great.
head on it and all that stuff. It's a really cool looking can. It's, it's even though it's an aluminum can, it does not have a twist top. You still got to open it with a bottle opener. It's pretty cool, and it looks good. And it's my favorite baseball team. So there. Mike, what flavor of IPA do you have today, sir?
Oh, good call, Matt. Like always, I am drinking it's called Silo. It's a double IPA, and it's out of a local brewery called Ivanhoe Park.
You're the Hope Park?
And
what?
Yeah, that no. And yeah, IPAs, man. I'm sorry.
Well, dude, I know you like your beers, and I wish I could get over there how bitter IPAs are, because there are a lot of them out there that are very high in alcohol content that I have heard are good beers, but I can't get over, the bitterness, man. I don't like it. I just don't. And I've always been like that. I've never been a huge fan of bitter things in general across the board, not just beer, just everything. And that's just me.
It's a acquired taste, Matt. I was not a fan either, and then my buddy out here, Dan, just kept having me drink them, and then eventually I was like, I think I kind of like these.
Well, it is beer. You can't hate it too much,
All right. So with that, Matt,
My turn?
do we want to talk about?
How Palm Springs relates to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Sure, we can do that.
Well, all right, Mike, how does it?
All right, so unlike last week, boom, found it.
Did you find it? All right.
I found it. J.K. Simmons is J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yes, he is.
So this was a fairly easy one, and I'm totally happy when there's an easy one, because last week really rocked me, and that was my pick. So I felt it was like a double whammy. I felt bad because that was my pick, and then it's not MCU. It's like, but I don't want to just eliminate a movie because it doesn't have an MCU reference, because that movie was great. I enjoyed 7500, and it was a real good look into what it is like to be a commercial pilot and what their role is if stuff goes down.
Which is episode 178 of the Real Film Nerds podcast. I enjoyed that movie very much as well. So, Mike, Real Film Nerds episode 179, Palm Springs, is the start of your new streak of MCU. So this week makes one. Let's see if I can remember to keep count.
A streak of one. All right.
The streak of one. All right. So you know what, everybody, that means? MCU's out of the way. Beer is out of the way for our regular listeners. That means it is now spoiler territory. So if you don't want Palm Springs spoiled, go ahead and move along. Mike, go ahead. Kick off our spoiler discussion.
So I enjoyed this movie quite a bit, and a twist in it that I didn't see coming at all is J.K. Simmons' character and how he's also stuck in the time loop, but in a different way. He processes it quite a different way. and I liked that a lot. I think it added quite a bit to the story, and I enjoyed how Andy Samberg's character Nyles just tried to like ignore it, like, yeah, we did this thing. Sorry.
Well, what makes it easy to ignore is that he knows what's going to go on, what's going to happen, so he doesn't go to the wedding all the time. Because he's at his home in Irvine, California, and he makes a special trip to go to the wedding, where Andy Samberg is already at the wedding because his girlfriend is part of the wedding party. So I think that adds a whole nother twist, because then J.K. Simmons' character can decide if he wants to go or not, if he wants to go torture Andy Samberg or not, or do whatever. And not so much torture, but kill. And we get a murder montage of J.K. Simmons torturing and killing Andy Samberg. I don't know, a good 30-second long montage. He chokes him, he waterboards him, he shoots him with arrows constantly. I don't know why he never used a bazooka. I mean, there's clearly a bazooka in this film. Why not go get that? That would be fun.
Oh, yeah. No, that was fun.
Well, and then you get the reveal at the end, when he goes to Irvine, and J.K. Simmons is a normal dude. He has a wife, he has a couple of kids, really late in life, and they're fairly young, but he's living like it was like a terrible day, and now it's like one of the best days of his life that he keeps living over and over and over.
Yeah, but you also see why he was so pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he even says, he's like, I was really pissed at you for a long time. And it's like, it's got to be so weird to be stuck in the loop. And like, even Andy Samberg alludes to it. He's like, I'm starting to forget about other things because I've been in here for so long.
Yeah, he forgets what he used to do for work.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big one to forget.
Yeah. Matt, could you forget that you were, you take pictures? I don't even think you could.
I'm trying hard, Mike. I'm trying real hard. I'll get there. I like J.K. Simmons' character, and then at the end, they allude to it when Andy Samberg goes to Palm Springs, and he's talking with J.K. Simmons, and he's saying, what happened to all, because he was very bleak when he met him at the wedding. It was very bleak. He was saying how life is horrible, and you're only in it for yourself, and true romance doesn't exist and all that stuff. And when he goes and visits J.K. Simmons' character in Irvine, he's saying the exact opposite stuff. So in all these days, he learned to appreciate his family, he learned to appreciate his wife, and completely turned his whole life around in one perspective.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even Andy Samberg's character, this was funny. I didn't want to say this earlier, but, it's a wedding every day he's going to, every day. And as you alluded to, Matt, that would be kind of rough every day. But at first, when you see some of the kind of flashbacks, he's wearing a tux and he's all respectable and stuff. And then as you see him, like as you meet this character in kind of the beginning, you're like, dude, this guy's a dick. He's just like drinking. He's just in like t-shirt and shorts. Like he looks like, he's on vacation in Hawaii or like at the beach or whatever.
Yeah, he's a complete waste of human life and
he's constantly cracking beers.
Yeah, who is so lazy and tired he won't change out of his bathing suit. That's not shorts, that's his bathing suit, because the scene where he's taking his drawers down to get some action with our second main character, and he pulls his drawers down, and she's like, "You wear underwear under your bathing suit?" And she, and he asks, "Doesn't everybody?"
She gives him crap.
It was pretty funny. It's a little scene, but it's still pretty funny. But yeah, that's his bathing suit that he wears all the time, and he's constantly cracking beers. Like, there's one scene where they even steal an airplane, where they're cracking beers as they're stealing the airplane. Like, they're not even in it yet, and they're cracking a beer.
Oh, yeah, and it was funny because it's like they knew that they could maybe take off, but they knew that they couldn't land, and they don't care. And it was just really funny.
Yeah, and she pulls something out of the dashboard she shouldn't have, and then the plane goes straight into the ground. Perfect. Hilarious.
The kind of weird dancing, craziness at that bar, dude.
That was hilarious. That was another one of my favorite parts. And then another one, the weird dancing montage thing. But I can't get around this movie. I should have talked about it earlier. Was how much sex there is in this movie. There's a lot. You don't really see much, but right off the first 5 minutes of the movie, Andy Samberg is trying to bang his girlfriend. And then later on, they talk about how, well, haven't you slept with so many people, day after day, his partner in crime? And he's like, yeah, I've slept with...
PIC, Matt.
PIC. Right. And so he answers her and says, yeah, I've slept with a lot of people, but it's just so much work. And then you see the montage and like he hooks up with the older biker chick at the bar. And he's like, you'll be surprised. She was amazing. She's like, nope, not surprised.
No. Yeah. That was very funny. That was, and then like you were talking about in the beginning, I mean, I don't know how much we should give away, but, he's having a little bit problem performing, and you're like, dude, but then you kind of find out why. His mental state is like, he's not really in it, but he's like, well, he's a dude.
Yeah, right. Well, I was going to say, I don't know if he has problems performing. It's just cheats on him, over and over again. And he's like, I might as well hit it this morning. But she's going to be banging, the officiant later.
Yeah.
It's like, God, dude, I might have a hard time, performing every morning after a few thousand times of doing that.
Oh, dude, the officiant nose candy stuff is so funny. And like, it's like, why is it colored?
Why was it colored? Right. That was the question I was going to say. It's like, what kind of blow are they doing? And dude, the term that J.K. Simmons used too, he's like, he's got a bag of candy in his pocket. And then you see him doing the blow and it's colored. It's like, maybe it really is pixie sticks. Am I missing out on something my whole life?
And then Andy Samberg's character at this point has started the looping stuff, or time looping. So he's just like, yeah, whatever. And he just walks right up to him in the middle of the ceremony, grabs the stuff out of his pocket.
That's in the trailer too. Yeah, that's so good. That's so funny. So funny.
And then there's a scene in here that was really good with the Andy Samberg is dancing at the wedding, and he knows everything that's going to happen with everyone, and just like blowing Sarah's character away. She's like, what the hell is going on?
Well, yeah, he's like rolling over people's backs. He's grabbing a glass of champagne, drinking the glass of champagne, returning it to the person he took it from.
Puts down a chair.
Yeah,
it's
puts
funny,
down a chair
man.
for a guy that's going to fall over because he's too drunk. I mean, it's just, I don't know how long it took to rehearse that, but they did a good job. It was fun. It was really fun.
Yeah, it looks so fluid and nice.
All right, Mike. So you want me to get into some of the end parts that I have theories about?
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
I again, massive spoilers because I'm going to ruin the end. So how they get out of the time loop is they blow themselves up in the cave. But if you notice,
Magic
it's just
cave.
them. There's no J.K. Simmons.
Yes.
You want to know why? This is my theory.
Okay.
Towards the end, there's a scene where Sarah's on her phone, and she's leaving a voicemail for someone, talking about, I don't remember her exact words, but talking about something, and then she ends it with like saying something like, okay, that's all you have to do, and then hangs up. That's the day that they blow themselves up and return, or, well, I'll get into that theory a little later, or go to another universe. My theory is that she was calling Roy, J.K. Simmons' character, leaving the voicemail for him so that no matter how many times he repeats that day, he will always get that voicemail and eventually get it so he can figure out how to get out of the time loop if he chooses.
Wow. Interesting.
That's one of my
I didn't
theories.
get that at all.
Here's my other theory.
All right.
Before she makes that phone call, or no, I think it's right when she gets off that phone call. Her grandma or the groom's grandma, one of the bride or groom's grandmothers comes up and talks to her. I think it was her grandma. I'm not sure. And it was the day that they're going to blow themselves up so they can get out of the time loop. And it's very specific. She uses very specific words versus any other time she's talked to her. And she said, well, I guess since you're going to be leaving now. So I think the grandma knows that she's going to be dying soon or something horrific is going on and she doesn't want to die or she's afraid to die. So she put herself into this time loop and is living out as many days as she wants for eternity.
Oh, wow.
See, this is the problem. I'm digging deep. This is where it gets very Black Mirrors towards the end. Okay, and now here's my last one, and then I'll stop. I will stop with my theories. I have one more.
All right.
All right, so you remember the part, there's dinosaurs. They saw dinosaurs when they were tripping on mushrooms.
Yes.
Were the dinosaurs real or were they not real? That's the real question. The end of the movie, you see dinosaurs walking by. The characters don't notice them, but there's dinosaurs walking by in the distance. I think they did not see the dinosaurs in real life. I think they were tripping balls when they saw them. When they blew themselves up, instead of returning to the universe they came from, they went to another multi-universe where dinosaurs exist.
Oh, all right.
Again, I might be reaching, but these are all the things that I was thinking about as I was watching this film. So I kind of liked that aspect that I turned it into very Black Mirror-ish kind of movie, I guess.
You did a little bit, but I had a lot of fun with this. I think this was fun. It was, I don't want to say that Groundhog Day, like, the kind of idea of having a day repeating has been done, but I enjoyed this fresh take and different look at how something could go down, and so that to me was fun. Like, I liked seeing pretty much 3 characters that we know about officially that are in the loop.
Well, Mike, it's, Groundhog Day is a hard one to beat. It's an incredible film done by, Bill Murray and, great, I'm blanking on his name, but Egon from Ghostbusters. I'm forgetting his real name.
Oh, yeah.
Rest in peace. He was the writer and director of that film. Bill Murray, and I'm sure... Anyways, I'm sure Dan Aykroyd also had probably some writing in on it because they worked together a lot, the 3 of them, writing wise. But you can't hate on Groundhog Day, and I feel that Palm Springs is definitely an homage to that film. It has to be. I mean, it's the main premise, but they turned it into their own thing. They used the main premise of a time loop, but turned it into their own thing. And I think it was very successful. And so based on that, Mike, that is why I give it 3.5 reels.
Wow. No, awesome. It was Harold Ramis.
Yeah. I'm so bad with names, man. I'm sorry.
I know. Yeah, it's okay. And Matt, I thought of another movie. This is more of a sci-fi type movie, but Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's Emily Blunt and Tom Cruise, but I think it might be called Live, Die, Repeat now. I don't know. They kind of changed. I think they had the movie titled Live, Die, Repeat in other countries, and then... I don't know. Like, if you go to buy it, I think now it says Live, Die, Repeat instead of Edge of Tomorrow.
Well, what happened is they changed it halfway through being in the theaters because not enough people are going to watch it because they didn't understand Edge of Tomorrow, I guess. And so they changed the title and the marketing and everything to try and get more people to see it in America.
I mean, I saw it. I loved the movie, man. I was like...
Yeah, I saw it as Edge of Tomorrow. You watch the trailer, you know what it is. It's awesome. That's what it is, pure and simple.
I'm not always the hugest Tom Cruise fan, but he's had a couple like recent awesome sci-fi movies, and that was one of them. And then the other one was with all the white and like the little pods and stuff. What was it called? Tom Cruise is definitely he's done a lot of neat things, and the Oblivion.
Oh, were you looking that up? I was going to say I knew it was Oblivion. I didn't realize you were looking up the name. I would have just blurted it out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow and Oblivion were just like, to me, I was like, dude, he just back-to-back movies where I was like, man,
very good.
I really
sci-fi.
like these movies.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
Tom
I was like,
sci-fi.
These are really good sci-fi movies.
Yeah, he's more of an action person. Mission Impossible, Top Gun, stuff like that. Days of Thunder.
Yeah. Matt, I speaking of Top Gun, I have mixed feelings about the new Top Gun. Like,
what?
It's been so long.
Dude, I want to see that movie so bad. How dare you?
No, but I want to see it. But like, part of the reason I want to see it is like, do you know what the Navy did for
Oh,
this?
yeah. I watched the behind-the-scenes trailer. Oh, yeah. Dude, if we find out after Tom Cruise dies that he got to fly an F-18 with no one else in there, I would not be surprised. I would not.
They got to be in cockpits flying, but they were in the 2-seat versions, and then they just filmed it so they weren't really flying, but they could pretend they were flying. So like all those scenes in the movie, like just the trailer, it's real flying. Like they're really in jets.
And I want to see it in a theater. I do not want to watch it at home. I want to see it in a damn theater. It's going to be so lackluster at home. Granted, I do have my beautiful new 65-inch TV, but I want to see it in the theater. God damn it!
Yeah, I want to see Atmos or whatever.
Yeah,
I want to
Dolby
have the
Atmos.
sound coming
Right.
at me in 17 directions.
Right. I want to feel it.
Yeah. I wanted to see if the brown note is real.
The brown note is real. Oh, I don't know if they're going to have the brown note in Top Gun 2, Mike. Oh,
I don't know.
all right. Well, I already gave my reels, Mike. How many reels do you get Palm Springs?
Man, I'm going to give this one 3 reels. I enjoyed
Only
it quite a bit.
3? Jesus, Mike.
Sorry, Matt.
All right, fine. I gave it 3.5. I didn't give it too much more, but
I know. I enjoyed this movie. I think it was good. Matt, is it my turn to pick for what we're reviewing next week?
damn right it is. You got me in the middle of a drink. See, I always get you in the middle of a drink. You got me for once. Wow, that's impressive. Mike, yes, since I picked Palm Springs, currently streaming on Hulu, it is your turn to pick our next streaming Tributary or Legacy cast movie for next week. And so, Mike, the anticipation is killing me. Please enlighten me.
All right, Matt. So I think I'm going to pick this movie called Guns Akimbo. It's starring Daniel Radcliffe, better known as Harry Potter.
Harry Potter?
And it's a fun sci-fi movie that I think you're going to like quite a bit, and I can't wait to talk about it with you.
Well, all right, Mike. So I guess with that, that's pretty much the end of the pod. Don't forget, our T-shirts should be coming out soon. If you want to grab one, head on over to Kirby Tees. Now, I said it wrong last week because I didn't want to type shit in, but it's not Kirby's Tea. It is Kirby Tees. So it's KIRBY, the letter T, S.com.
All right. Well, I'm eagerly awaiting the Jaws mashup of real film nerds.
I don't know when that one is going to come out because Dave is going to be working on that one. I'm not pushing him or anything. I sent him a bunch of our logos, our fonts, all that stuff, and so he's whipping up a Real Film Nerds logo T-shirt, which has what I effectively call our popcorn bucket head character, along with the Blade Runner font is what we use. It says Real Film Nerds, so that should be coming out, I don't know, probably this week or next week, something like that. And then the Jaws one, that will be awesome. It's down the road. I'm excited to see what Dave comes with. Mike, I will make sure and send it to you when we get a proof. So, again, they're going to be around $20, and you can get a medium to a 4XL, and it's about $20 shipped to your door. Check them out. Kirby Tees.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, I think with that, we should end the pod. So, I'm just going to go out and tell everybody to watch all the movies that they can. Catch us on the Instagrams and all the socials, the Facebooks, and all that stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.
Good morning, Magic 99.1. Who's this?
Message received.
I was testing you because you said you always listen, and you proved that you do. Nice job, Matt Hinshaw. How are you, buddy?
I am living the dream. How are you doing, Lisa?
You know what? I am living the dream right alongside you.
How was vacation?
You know what? It was good. It was good. It was nice to sleep in till 8 o'clock, which, that's quite a treat when you're used to getting up at 4.
Yeah, that's pretty ruthless. I couldn't do it because I go to bed at about 3:30.
Aha! I'm getting up right as you're going down. I gotcha. Because you're up late watching shows for your podcast, right? The Real Film Nerds.
Definitely, every night.
Yeah, well, we got to start off with some sad news this morning because someone from my favorite movie passed away yesterday. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, it was Kelly Preston, right?
Yes, from Jerry Maguire. Very sad news. Nobody really knew she was sick, so that was a sad one this morning.
Yeah, definitely a shocker because she was fairly young, too.
Yeah, 57. She was extremely young, Matt.
Yeah.
Well, God bless her soul. What are you calling in to talk about this morning?
Well, this past weekend, I sat down and watched a brand new movie that came out on Hulu. Yes, Hulu, which is known mostly for TV shows, starring Andy Samberg and J.K. Simmons, called Palm Springs.
And how was Palm Springs?
I really, really enjoyed it.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear you say that.
It is a lot like Groundhog Day. It is clearly inspired by Groundhog Day. It is a time loop movie, but instead of being one person living through the same day repeatedly over and over and over, it turns into two people. And it is a romantic comedy, but there's more comedy there than there is romance in it.
Oh, well, you like that part, right?
Yes, I like the comedy over the romance, definitely.
That's all you're going to admit on the radio anyway, right?
Of course.
Of course.
Mean, you know.
Well, excellent. I'm so glad that you liked it. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 92%. That's amazing.
Yeah, that is pretty high for Rotten Tomatoes, definitely. It's just, it might be the timing because with the wonderful pandemic going on, it's like we're all living the same day over and over.
Right.
It's just fun, lighthearted, hilarious, it's a great, fun comedy for right now, and it's just skyrocketing because of the times.
Perfect. And we can catch it on Hulu because we all have Hulu, so super easy to watch it.
If not, you can always get the cheap Hulu that has commercials. I think it's like $3 or $4 a month. You can pay for that for a month to watch this movie. It's definitely worth it.
That's what I have. I have the cheap Hulu, Matt.
There's nothing wrong with it. If you were okay with commercials, then go for it. I try not to watch commercials anymore. But.
Right. Well, commercials pay my paycheck, so I'm all about the commercial, Matt. Well, tell me, did you catch Hamilton on Disney Plus that came out last week?
I have not watched Hamilton yet. No, okay. I have not squeezed it in there. It's a large time commitment.
Yeah. Why? How many hours?
I think it's at least 2, if not more.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet either. I was anxious to hear what you thought. So what are we planning on watching next week?
Next week, it is Mike's week to pick a film. Mike picked a movie I know nothing about. It's currently streaming on Amazon Prime. It came out in February. It's called Guns Akimbo. It is starring Daniel Radcliffe, a.k.a. Harry Potter. And it's kind of a Black Mirror sci-fi shoot-'em-up movie from what he was describing.
Oh.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how that one is.
Okay, very good. Well, you guys can catch Matt's podcast. It's called The Real Film Nerds. As always, Matt, great chatting with you this morning.
It's always great chatting with you too, Lisa.
Have a great day.
You too.